So there's much talk about something called disclosure, where our space brothers will reveal themselves to us on Earth.
Well, the Spirit have told me that they will. They said we will walk alongside you as ourselves on planet Earth. You talk about disclosure. They have already been doing that, but it's been hidden from the general public.
Because the public wouldn't be able to handle the information?
Personally, I think the public are ready to be told. There's been enough about it now. The only way that they would panic is if suddenly a spaceship come down and lots of little green men or whatever were started milling around.
Mass decloaking.
Yeah, it's not going to happen like that.
Right.
It will be very gentle, I think. And those who are not able to see won't see. I know that sounds really weird, but it's very similar to when the Indians, well, I think it was Cook, when he visited the islands, they couldn't see the ships. It was only until a shaman saw them and described the ships that they were able to see them, because they'd never seen anything like it and they couldn't recognise it. You see? You can only recognise what you have seen. I know it sounds crazy, but if you've never had no concept of anything, you can't see it. Now, all this science fiction stuff, the drawings of spaceships, ETs, has already helped people to be able to recognise. Do you see?
Yes.
Because they have already seen it, even if it has only been in books or films.
There are many books and films that are preparing people for this.
Exactly.
It's come through in terms of inspiration for books and stories.
Absolutely,
and magic. And
yeah. When I was about 5, I remember doing a jigsaw puzzle, 5 or 6. And it was all futuristic means of travel, ships and aeroplanes, which didn't, weren't like that, and very futuristic stuff. And at the time when I was doing, I thought futuristic stuff, they do exist now. They have been manufactured. Do you see what I mean? And I think that's
You've been prepared.
It's preparing people. So I don't think people will be freaked by it. They're already well aware. The majority are well aware. What will upset people, those people who will be upset, will be those who have strong religious beliefs that, we came from Adam and Eve and that sort of thing. Well, Adam and Eve did exist, but not as just them, and they were the only ones on the planet, and suddenly they were. And that's going to upset them because their belief system's so strong. So they won't like it when things are different, proven to be different. That there is intelligence out there, that God did make other things besides planet Earth and human beings, God, even the Pope is admitting that there must be intelligent life out there. He's recognising the existence of space intelligence beings. And there are many, many intelligent beings out there.
And again, you talk about some of these, meeting with some of these intelligent beings in your book, Being Human?
Yes. The first time I saw one, well, a group of them actually, was on board a spacecraft, life support system I should say, and they were all operating, see, I just arrived and there were all these, well, I looked like bald-headed or helmeted beings at their consoles, very science fiction stuff. And it wasn't until one of them turned around I saw it was an actual ET, but they were controllers, what they were called, controllers operating the system. They are given orders and they carry them out. They don't go much beyond that, they're told what to do. Then I met Ossie Shu, who was a being, I call him Birdman. When he came, I knew he was a Birdman, and I called him Birdman right at the beginning. I didn't know his name then. Very, very tall. To say he was a Birdman simply means that his face made you think of a bird, made me think of an eagle actually. It didn't mean he had, he was flapping and clucking and all the rest of it. I immediately called him Birdman, and he was the first one to communicate with me from another place. And he told me about why they were interested in helping planet Earth, that we are actually their children. We have been genetically altered from early man into Homo sapien, and they're still helping us to evolve. But he communicated mind to mind, you see, through his eyes. Weird. And every time he blinked, the energy, it was like a sudden rush of energy. Every time he blinked, and he knew every time what I was thinking. I didn't have to say it, he knew it. A knowing again. It was really weird, but lovely. But I felt warm towards him, but I knew I couldn't touch him. Now, whether that was because I was only there in the mind, I don't know. I just knew I couldn't touch him. But it was like he was like you are, physically in front of me. Felt physical. I felt physical.
You were physically in front of him too?
It felt like that. As I said before, it's like being in a dream that you know is real while you're dreaming it. It was that sort of thing. I felt as physical as I'm here, sat down in a chair. But I knew I couldn't be. I mean, it was an impossibility for me to be physical there, but that's how I felt.
So this is existing physically in third dimension, and the mind is taking you into a higher dimension.
Into a higher dimension.
That he exists in physically.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Do you see?
Yes, I understand.
It was like we were both physical, each of us.
Yes.
Yeah, I knew, because, I wasn't stupid. I knew that I couldn't possibly be physical, but I felt physical. I was able to drink and sleep and walk about and everything.
Well, as in a dream, one can do the same then.
Yeah, absolutely, yes.
Okay.
So it was a reality for me. But I stepped out from third dimensional reality into another one.
So we can be in more than one dimension at the same time.
You can definitely be in more. Remember what I said about time isn't relevant? Your physical reality can be in more than one place. Which is why a lot of people have difficulty when you die, you pass over. You still feel physical over there. You don't feel as if you're in spirit, or as if you're dead or anything. You still feel the same. It's quite... Because I've been on the other side. And I've written about that in the book as well. What it's like on the other side. It's quite interesting, actually. And not at all scary. The only problem is, if people know how nice it is, they might want to hop the twig sooner and go a bit too soon.
Rather than go through all the life lessons.
Yeah, but of course that's not what we chose. But, yes, so Aussie Shoo I've met my spirit guides who have presented themselves as different nationalities because I can accept them that way. I don't know what, if they were just energy form, I wouldn't be able to relate, or somehow they wouldn't have the identities that they do by them presenting themselves as Chinese. Dr. Bo is Tibetan, sorry, Dr. Bo, he's Tibetan. And I've met three Chinese as spirit guides, and Indians, and the Raja, who's also in the book. Pictures of them are in the book, so you can see what I mean. And it's spirit that have sent me on my travels, you see, which has helped me learn a little bit more and changing energies. That's another thing you can prepare the earth for. Change energies from very negative, what I call negative energies, into something more positive.